Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. I have never shared anything like this before, but I thought it would be really fun to give you a sneak peek to this live coaching call from Business Activation Academy. Business Activation Academy is my signature offer. It is my one main offer, actually. And what it is I like to call it the Magic Business School. It is a beautiful online academy with 6 core modules that you get lifetime access to, and you get weekly coaching on building your coaching business from scratch, literally from scratch, from square one. So deciding what your magic is, uncovering what your magic is, creating a one-on-one offer, working with beta clients to build experience, showing up online, creating content to attract your clients, and learning to close clients on sales calls and sales conversations, and also how to launch your coaching program. It is a immersive, comprehensive academy that takes you step by step with the trainings, the mindset, the strategy to build your coaching business with your magic leading the way. So it isn't about what's right, what's wrong, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. It's about tuning into your magic, your own self-trust, connecting to the spirit of your business and your energy and letting that lead you. So at the end of the day, I am not the one telling you what to do or what you shouldn't do. Of course, I am holding space for you as a coach. But ultimately, you are the high priestess of your business. You are the end all be all, making those ultimate executive decisions. And I teach you to step into that CEO role in order to make those decisions, to not be in indecision, to not slip into the wounded hustle to create results, and instead do so through manifestation and through attraction, law of attraction, and mindset. Really getting your mind right. So this live coaching call was from one of our recent weeks, and I'm and I will be coaching on designing an offer, understanding that there is chaos and confusion before clarity, setting goals, what to do when a client is XYZ. There are a couple things that come up in this coaching call that I will just let you listen to and is really powerful. I think this call was incredible, and I'm excited for you to dive in and listen in. Let me know if you enjoyed this at the end. Send me a DM. And if you are interested in joining us inside Business Activation Academy, there's a link in the show notes. It's also tiffanychung.co/BAA. That's B as in business, A as in activation, and another A as in academy. And you can check out all that the academy has to offer and apply to join. All right, let's dive in. I'm your host, Tiffany Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration, and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast.
Let me spotlight myself really quickly so that it is there. Okay. Hi, everyone. I thought that we would start with a little training, a little like mini like a mini masterclass on belief work and building a new belief. I feel like we're all kind of in the space in our business where we are learning to create beliefs from scratch, and also realizing how difficult that can be sometimes, and how crazy that feels. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I was in this phase in my business, I would like talk to people about it, and people that are like not in the coaching world, and like they'd be like, what, like, what are you doing? Like, your results are coming from where? So it can feel kind of, it can feel like you're kind of going a little crazy. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what it actually means to build a belief from scratch. I know we've coached on it, and I think that is truly one of the best ways to learn. But also, I wanted to share a couple of things that we can all digest and integrate in terms of what belief work can look like if there was a process for it. I don't even really love the word process, because it sometimes insinuates that like, oh, it has to look a certain way, which, like, you all know is totally not the way that I teach. So pick and choose what feels most right for you, right? Like, if something doesn't resonate, like, just pick what works and leave the rest, right? You all have autonomy over what you decide to implement as the thing that works the best for you and your energy and who you are. So just want to preface with that. Okay, so some of you might have caught my reel, or I think it was earlier this week that I posted it, or sometime last week. And it was about delusion. Like, we as business owners all share a delusion that our business is going to be successful. And we essentially live in this state of what I call delusion, which, like, I truly don't mean in like a negative connotation. I just think that it feels a little delusional to create beliefs and create results and create a reality that stems from nothing, right? You start at zero. Everyone starts at zero. You have zero followers, you have zero clients, you have $0. Every single one of us starts in that place. And then we work our way through to what makes the most sense for us. And so the way that I see you implementing delusion and building this new belief in your business is first asking yourself, like, what do you want to believe about your business? What do you want to believe about your success? What are the thoughts that you want to choose on a daily basis when you're just living your life and doing your thing? You're in the car, you are away from the laptop. That's when I feel like a lot of the thoughts come up around your business of like, is this even working? Am I even attracting anyone? Are my posts being read? Like, I see insights and whatnot, but is it actually going to help me book clients and consult calls, right? And I feel like so easily and our brains can be such assholes, because that's its purpose is literally for us to survive and to stay safe, right? Our brain is not here to, help us become the most enlightened version of ourselves. Like, our brain is here to keep us alive, and it lives in a very egoic state of like, what is going to keep me the most safe and the most away from harm as possible, in my safe zone, in my comfort zone. And so your brain is going to offer you these things to keep you safe, to protect you of, well, it's not really working. Maybe we should think about this and that, or maybe we should just burn it all down, right? Like, you haven't booked a consult in X amount of weeks, right? And so that's what this means about you. It's going to piece all these things together, and you, as the sovereign, enchanted, magical being that you are, the incredible vessel that the spirit of your business has chosen to birth a creation and offer a program, whatever it is, you have to be so rooted in that to not let your human brain drive the bus, because it's going to want to. And the way that I see it is, we need that brain, right? We need it to literally survive. But it's not going to be, our ego is not going to be the thing that ends up running our business, right? It's like letting it's like if I let my daughter like make all of the decisions for me, or if I let my wounded inner child that holds all of this pain or whatever it might be, um, to make all of the decisions in my life as an adult, knowing what I know now, right? So it's not that it's a bad thing, or it's not that we need to get rid of it. It's just that we have to learn to tame it and say, okay, inner child, ego, I hear you. I hear that these are your fears. I hear that, you know, the circumstances are that we haven't booked a new client in a month now, but it's happening. This is what I'm declaring. This is what it's going to look like, right? You get to come and decide, instead of falling into that rabbit hole that your human brain is going to drag you down, that your ego is going to drag you down. You get to decide and declare, hey, this is what I'm choosing to think. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. This is what it's going to look like moving forward. This is my intentional thought about it, right? My intentions are choosing me. My desires are desiring me. My aligned clients are also seeking me. My success is inevitable, right? All of these things, or even like simple thoughts that aren't necessarily fancy, of like, it's okay to be imperfect. It's actually what brings my clients to me. Or I posted this and I'm not dying. I'm not dead, right? That didn't kill me. I went on live and it didn't kill me. I am okay. I am still here. I am still breathing, right? It could literally just be the simplest, most basic of thoughts that gets you through to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And that also allows room. It allows literal energetic real estate, like mental real estate in your brain, to go from all of this time thinking about, what do I do? How do I find my next client? Where are they? What is that going to look like? What are they going to look like? Right? What is that going to look like if I jump on a sales call? Like, all of this time consumed with like these thoughts and these worries, you actually have time to think about your clients and what they need and how you can show up and serve them. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've done throughout my entire business that has gotten me to where I am now, is I'm constantly showing up and just asking, what do my clients need? What do my clients need? How can I show up for my clients? How can I show up and serve my clients? Right? And I even see people who aren't inside BAA, or I'm not working with them, they're just following me, you know, and they haven't decided to invest yet. I see them as my clients as well. I see them as my community. How can I show up and serve? How can I show up and let them achieve what it is that they want? I just got a message today from one of my free 3-day masterclass, and she said, your free masterclass let me book my first paid client. Right? And that made me so happy, because that's truly what marketing is you show up and you serve people and you let people know, hey, this is what I do. This is how I can help you. And this is how I'm showing up to help you today. And trusting that whatever comes out of your mouth and comes from your brain is valuable, right? Not second guessing, not making it about you, not making it about the likes and the saves and is this good enough and being in comparison, but thinking about what does my client need to hear today? And how can I show up and serve them in that way? And how can I just decide that today is the day that someone's booking a consult with me, or my clients are here now. They're ready to work with me, right? They are so ready and starting to take that messy action. Okay. All right. Let's do some coaching. Please raise your hand.
I'm down for some coaching, Tiff.
Beautiful. Hi, Rhonda. How can I coach you?
Okay. I can totally be in control of and count regularly how many offers I'm making, or how often I'm showing up in reels, or how often I'm changing the language or something in my offers. But if that kind of a goal make setting felt like something easier and within my control.
Yeah. So do that. I think that there is no perfect way to create and reach your goals. And I actually really like that you're going through this, because then you get to walk your clients through a personalized way of reaching their goals. Because really, there is no systematized, like, first you've got to set this timeline, then you got to do this. Like, it really is what you decide and you declare, right? Like, that could even happen in a day, right? Or it could take longer. I think that sometimes when we set these timeline goals, which again, there's nothing wrong with it, what our brain does is then if we don't get there, then we make it mean something about us, right? Or we focus on like how, like sometimes it gets our brain like really tripped up. Like I've definitely set timeline goals for myself and I have timeline goals in my head, but what has helped me, especially in the beginning, is allowing myself to kind of take a messier approach of like, I just want to get to this place where regardless of how long it takes, like I want to be working with 5 clients, say, right? And so what I do is like you said, I'll make offers, I show up, I push myself to do that. And that way I don't have this kind of impending doom of a deadline approaching, because especially if you have ADHD or you're not a very linear thinking person, you know, timelines can just create this pressure. And sometimes people work really well under pressure. And there are people that just like will avoid it at all costs and not end up doing anything at all. So it really is, you know, and someone can look at a timeline and be like, yeah, that's amazing. I love that. I'm doing that for my business. That's exactly what I'm creating. And then it works for them. So for you, I would say play with it, right? Play. There's no formula in terms of how this needs to look. If it feels good to you to just say, I want to make this X many offers and this is how I'm choosing to show up. Or maybe you're calculating it by the amount of times you listen to your intuition and the spirit of your business when it says, go and share this on social media. Like maybe that is the way that you measure your goals. So I'm not saying don't do the timeline thing. I'm just saying maybe find different ways in which you're measuring your success that is outside of a deadline or a quantity of clients, because there's a lot of ways in which there's so many little wins in what you're doing right now. And I want you to be able to recognize that as well. Does that make sense?
Yes, this is really helpful because I mean, anytime you're goal setting, it's always like the SMART goal, and maybe it's just from the corporate school thing, but it's just like, is it measurable? Can you count it? Is there a deadline? So this is really helpful just in terms of other ways to consider looking at measuring progress and working towards something. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, here's another one that just came to mind. How much fun are you having? How much of yourself are you being on social media? Like create fun goals. When I did launches for BAA and for other things in the past, like I would just create fun goals that I would just measure by how much fun I'm having in that launch, right? It wasn't even like how many signups or how many whatever, like how much money I was making. It was like, how much fun am I having? And, you know, ironically, not so ironically, however much fun I was having was how much money I was making, and allowing myself to really tap into that. So I would invite you to play with that too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so welcome. Trifina, hello.
Hi. So I just wanted to share, like what's been happening for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I think one day I just went on stories and a few people DM'd me, and so we got into like conversations, and one person, she's like a stage 4 cancer patient, kind of was, we're just chatting, and then I kind of invited her to like work with me, and she was like, oh, I don't have any money, I don't have a job, and so like she can't pay for my services. And so instead of kind of like just leaving it, I kind of like invited her to my beta program. And she said yes. So,
amazing.
Yeah, I was really happy with that. But it's been a struggle to get her enrolled.
How so? What do you mean by that?
So usually what I like to do is kind of give like tasks for like clients to do before like I start coaching them. And so I quickly like made up like a questionnaire for the program. And then I asked her to, you know, why don't you fill out this questionnaire so that I get to know you a little bit more. And she was just, it was just a struggle to get her to fill that out. Like she would just be like, oh, this isn't working, this link isn't working, just making up like excuses and kind of like, I don't know, I guess wanting me to handhold her through every kind of little thing. And I was like, oh, is this like my ideal client? Is this someone that I actually want to enroll? And so I told her, you know, like one of the most valuable lessons is to be resourceful and to, you know, work, like find a way to fill out this form if you really want to. And so she did, she finally did, but it was a struggle. And then, which is fine. And then after that, I told her, okay, the next step is now to book in a call. And again, it was a huge struggle. She's like, oh, these times are just not good for me. Like I'm celebrating her Easter, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, do you have any other times available? And so I'm like, oh my goodness, like just everything was just a huge struggle. So I'm like, I just decided to kind of leave it at that because there's other dates available next month. So if she really wanted to, she could just book that. But I think it's good for me to kind of have those boundaries. Like I think before I would just like, you know, open up more times for her because like I just want someone to be in my program. But I think it's good for me to kind of not do that and have boundaries. What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah. What are you making these things mean about you as a coach? What are you making these like struggles and kind of challenges in onboarding her mean about you?
I think I'm growing as like, because before I would have no boundaries, right? Like my clients can call me anytime. Like they would just call me out of the blue and I'd be like taking their calls and I would get really like just not happy to be coaching. Like I feel like I have no life.
So right now, what do you believe about your aligned clients, like the people that you're most excited to work with? Or not even that, like what do you believe about your clients currently?
Well, my ideal client would be someone that's resourceful, that doesn't like, that doesn't need hand holding. I mean, like they can do something as simple as fill out a form. Like this is a free program. Like they're not even paying for this. And so, but they need to have skin in the game, whether it's, you know, their time, their effort. And, you know, beating stage 4 cancer isn't easy. They need to be super resourceful. And if they can't even like fill out a form and book in a call, like, can they really do this program?
Yeah. So what do you feel like you want to do from here? Like, what do you feel like would be the ideal scenario?
Enroll more people that are more, I guess, aligned.
Yeah. What if, because we can go a couple of different ways here. Like, yes, I see how you do want to be able to abide by your boundaries and really be able to stand by that. But also, what if this is just a conversation that you get to have with her, right? Like, and as a coach, you can always decide, even in the middle of a program, and say, hey, this is no longer working. This no longer feels aligned. But what if you just allowed yourself to hop on a call and have a conversation, like a back and forth conversation, maybe that one that doesn't take place in the DMs or in the emails, and really allow yourself to, speak to her and connect to her and decide after that if this is truly an aligned client. And if not, then you get to take it as a learning lesson and you get to move forward. Because I think also as a coach, like, you can teach resourcefulness, right? Like, you can teach them to really show up and recognize the power in allowing themselves to make a decision and then show up for it. Like, that can be something that you coach them on during your time together.
Right. So, I mean, my thinking was that, well, if she's gonna book a call, then she can be resourceful.
Right. But also, it's totally okay to open up your schedule. And I don't think that unless you make it mean, right? Because that's why I asked you, like, what are you making this mean about yourself? I've opened up my schedule to take clients at different time zones, right? I have clients in Australia, I've had clients in the UK, I've had clients in Canada, all over the world, right? So I've also, especially in the beginning of my business, I would take calls like almost every single day. I think that boundaries are important and needed, but I would also say, like, in the beginning of your business, it's okay to let it be a little bit messy and take on the clients so that you can have the experience. Right? You can always decide if this is not something that you want to do down the line, and you can make a decision about that. But also, if you're in the beginning and you haven't worked with any clients, open up some new times. That's not a problem unless you make it a problem.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
Like, you could still have boundaries and be flexible on certain things with your clients.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
what I'm seeing is like you making it mean something about you, or you making it mean like, oh, if she doesn't do this, then, I don't want to be the one to budge on my boundaries. But also, like, as a coach, you are the one, like, this might be the first introduction she has to really showing up and taking her healing seriously, right? Like, obviously I don't know this client of yours, but like, as the coach, like, clearly there are goals, there are things that this person wants to work towards. And so,
Right.
especially in the beginning of your business and taking on clients and allowing yourself to gain the experience and the confidence that you need to become the coach that you want to be, it's okay to kind of bend and be a little bit flex with that. Like, I will still do that from time to time with my one-on-one clients or whatever it needs, and still allow myself to have boundaries, right? Still allow myself to have limitations and create more and more of that as my business grows. But I would say in the beginning, allow yourself to be intentional, just be selective with the things that you're doing. And if you do find yourself like really in a client relationship where you're like, oh, this really isn't working out, this really isn't taking, right, and you feel like you've exhausted your resources and you've done all that you can, then that's another decision that you get to make, whether or not you want to continue working with this person.
Right. Yeah, I think I'll open up the communication with her and kind of see, where she's at.
Yeah, yeah. And just be more compassionate with yourself. Like, I can sense there's like, self-judgment towards yourself around, like, also around with her. So allowing yourself to just make the decisions that feel best to you, not making it mean anything about you or your boundaries, and knowing that at any point you can, if you need to, change your mind, make different decisions, have hard conversations. Sometimes it just takes a conversation that maybe we don't always want to have with our clients in order to create a different route moving forward.
Yeah, cool.
And you can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Sabine, hello. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. It's good to see your face.
Yeah, I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
So it's been a busy few weeks for me, and at work, something kind of very upsetting happened, and it's kind of pushed me. First of all, I've decided that I probably will not last a year at my job, and
Yeah.
I'm probably going to move up the timeline a little bit, but that just means that I want to even like focus on this even more. And I've had a chance recently, but I feel like I'm a little stuck. Like, I think I just don't know what my next step is. Like right now, I'm a little bit, I think that I don't really know where I want to take it. And I understand it's probably just because I haven't had the experience coaching, but I feel like I'm in this like weird conundrum where I want to find beta clients, but I feel like I need to have a social media presence in order to get beta clients, but I'm not really sure what to post on social media. So I feel like I don't have like the social proof or whatever to start attracting people, and not even paid clients, but just clients in general. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to navigate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, you do not need a social media presence in order to book clients, paid clients, beta clients. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of us have in terms of wanting clients. We think that we need all of these people following us and all of these, insights that we look for, likes and comments and saves. So tell me a couple of things that you would love to coach on, things that would excite you to coach on with your aligned clients.
I think like my biggest thing that would be exciting is just to like have my clients understand how much their mind affects their body and how their mental state really can manifest in physical symptoms. So I think that that's something that maybe people are starting to catch on to now, but especially in like marginalized communities, like understanding that it's more than just their like what they're going through. It's a culmination of like what their families have gone through before them and before them, like generational trauma that may have contributed to whatever, health issues that they might be experiencing now. Like just having them understand that connection and working on ways to increase their awareness around it and make better decisions that are more in line with their intuition. I think that's where I want to take it.
Beautiful. And also, your brain literally just lied to you in saying that you don't know what to post on. Like, I want you to catch that too. Because that was that could have been broken up into like 3 or 4 different posts. You could have sent an email. You could have gone live. Like, your brain has so much genius in it that needs to be shared through your filter and your frame of reference for people to really absorb the message. And it's funny how all of our brains lies to us. Like, I never believe anyone that says like, I just don't know what to post on Instagram. It's typically not that. It's typically what are people going to say? What if nobody responds? What if nobody signs up? What do you feel like is the underlying fear behind not knowing what to post now that we've decided that's not a thing?
Well, I think that I'm very much someone who likes things wrapped up in a pretty bow, and I want it to come out exactly like in a specific way. And I think I'm just really afraid of taking that messy action, just saying it, even if it's not exactly like the most polished, you know. I've just always been like that with everything. So, and then, you know, I on my personal Instagram, like I barely post. I maybe post one picture a year. Like no one ever sees my face on social media. And it's like really a lot to like put myself out there. Like the pictures I do have, like best believe they've been edited and like you know, whatever needed to be done to make it look really nice, making sure that, you know, everything is just so. So
Yeah.
I think that just letting myself just say what I want to say without that type of like constraint is a little scary for me.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you the most afraid of if something isn't shared as articulately or as pretty as you'd like it to be and look? What would happen?
Definitely judgment. Like I think I'm not so afraid of strangers, but it's more like people that I know that might come across my
Mhm.
especially because I'm very someone who's like very private. Like I'm very friendly and like I'll talk to anybody, but at the same time, not everyone knows everything about me. So like putting myself out there in this way and like sharing my story or my thoughts, especially because they're not super like I work in healthcare, like it's not the way that we've been trained to think, you know?
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that that might be something that I'm like not admitting is one of my barriers.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the fear of, which is so normal and is so common. Like all of us, like I would even be worried if like someone, you know, wasn't having a fear like that, right? It's very much a human normal thing. What I want to see in terms of the intentional thoughts that you decide, because we decide our thoughts, right? Whatever thoughts that we currently have come from this place of subconsciousness, from our ego of like, no, people have to see me a certain way and that's what I want to keep up, right? That's kind of how our brain again wants us to survive, sees fear and doesn't realize that that fear is not an actual mountain lion standing in front of us. It is just this fear of other people's thoughts, which like our brain sometimes doesn't know the difference. Our reptilian brain doesn't know the difference. And so truly the best way to access the other side of this is to just go through it. And what really, really helps is if you are shifting from, because it's so funny, our brain instantly thinks of like our ex-coworkers, our extended family, and people we went to high school with, people that like may never buy coaching from us, rather than the people who will buy coaching from us, like the people who need to hear that message. Like, I want you to think about the people that are going through their daily lives, not knowing the information that you just shared with us, your magic, your message, your literal medicine. And how they're continuing in their lives every single day, thinking like this is the best that it's going to be, right? Like not understanding that their genetics and their epigenetics plays a role in their body and the way that they exist right now in their lifetime, with their health, with their mental health, right? With the way that they process emotion and they have, and the trauma responses and triggers that they have. Like, imagine someone, give them a name, give them a visual, give them a body, you know, and imagine them going through their life never knowing this, never knowing that it's something that they can shift. And once you really think about, okay, how can I show up for this person? What does this person need to hear today? How can I share something today that's going to change the way that they view this? Change the way that they view themselves, right? Do you already feel a shift in that energy?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think focusing on who I'm actually talking to probably makes a huge difference. Because you're right, like
Yeah.
the people that I'm worried about are not the people that I'm talking to.
Right. So tell me a little bit about who you want to talk to. Like, who is this ideal, aligned client who you're so excited to work with, who's so committed to this process? Tell me a little bit about them.
I think that my ideal client is someone who doesn't like to settle for status quo. They want
Mhm.
to level up. They want the best out of life. They want to feel as great as they possibly can. They are not really interested in just doing what everyone else does, accepting things the way that they are, and just, settling for, okay, this is good enough. You know,
Yeah.
I think those are the type of clients that I'm speaking to. And
Yeah.
like they understand that they can have more and they want more, but maybe they just don't know how to get it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if you could just like create in your mind right now, like whatever comes to you, whatever you feel like you are hearing from your intuition or the spirit of your business, what would you say to that person? It's just like a random download, a message that can be created into a post. What would you share with them that they don't already know that you feel like could just shift their perspective on their own life?
I think that I would tell them that they're more capable than they know and that they have everything that they need already. It's just a matter of tapping into that potential.
Mm, yeah. And what would happen once they do tap into their potential? What would that look like?
That would look like freedom in
Yeah.
like sense of the word, just like true freedom.
Yes. And if they want to experience that freedom and experience that shift in their life, how can they get in touch with you to become a client? What is your invitation right now? Would it be DMs? Would it be a call that they can book through a link? What would that look like?
I think I'm good on calls. So I'd probably want them to either DM so that we can schedule a call, but I would like to do like a call, I think.
Beautiful. Yeah. Do you see how that was like a literal post within itself?
Yeah, I don't Yeah, that was awesome.
It gets to be so easy. And you don't even have to post a picture of yourself, even though I would highly recommend it because like your face is like the most unique thing about like we're all 1 in 7 billion, right? Your face, your smile, your energy, the things that people are going to feel in their body when they see you, they're gonna go, oh my goodness, like how could I not work with her? Like I want to work with her because of this connection that I feel, of this message that I'm seeing, right? So like it can start with like, hey, I'm Coach Sabine. This is what I do. This is what I can help you with. This is what I can shift your perspective on. Look at how your previous generations affect the way that you show up in your body and your health and your mental health, right? And you share more about that. And then you can share, you can experience this freedom, right? I've helped other people do, I've done it for myself, right? Like whatever you want to share there, there's freedom in this. There's freedom in this education and this knowledge that they're not teaching you in schools or whatever. And if you want to take this work deeper and you want to be one of my select beta clients that I'm only offering for a limited time only at this low price or whatever you want to share, then go and click the link in my bio, choose a time with me, and let's talk. No strings attached. Let's just see if this is the best next step for you. How does that feel to share?
Hearing you say that, I'm already thinking like, how can I sign up? So yeah.
Good. You should want to sign up for your own programs always.
Ready to sign up for my own program.
Yeah.
Gosh, thank you so much. That really helped.
How do you feel now? How does that feel to you?
really excited. Like I definitely want to like kind of harness this energy. Like I think tomorrow I'm off, so I'm hoping that I can like take that and just run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I see you doing it. There is no hope in that sentence. Like there is you declaring and you deciding and you choosing, this is how I'm going to show up. This is how my people are going to see me. I think that's so often it's like, it's so easy, right? It's not that you don't know how to create posts and talk about what you do. Of course you do. It's just that we get so caught up in these human fears of, what is this person going to say? What is that person going to think? Can I show my face? Right? So it's really allowing yourself room to feel those things because they're all so valid. They're so okay. They're so human, right? You get to love your humanity, and you also get to decide that those thoughts don't drive the boat, that you get to choose intentional thoughts of, you know what, that's valid, but also I am calling in freedom for myself and for my clients, and this is what they can experience, and I can't wait to help them. And the best way to help them is to show up in this way and to share these things. And so I'm going to do that. So I want you, when you start kind of slipping back into like, what are people going to think in this kind of mindset? I want you to start choosing those intentional thoughts of, my clients are ready now. They just need to hear from me. I'm just going to show up and speak in this energy and call them in, and their lives are going to change. And I'm so excited to help them do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Of course. You're so welcome. Okay. Alyssa, hello.
Hi. So I'm just honestly all over the place right now with everything. And I feel like I'm just going through like one of those moments where I'm like right there, like ready to break through, but I'm like fucking panicking. Like I feel like I'm like about to jump off a cliff, and then I'm like, oh my God, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, and I start to back up. Like every day I'm like sobbing because I'm like ready. And then I kind of talk myself out of it. And then I'm like so upset. Like I'm happy, but upset because I'm happy because I feel ready. And then I'm upset because I end up being like, wait, no, I can't. And then I freak out and back off. And I'm like forcing myself to do stuff anyway that of course I'm very uncomfortable doing, posting, putting myself out there. Like especially on TikTok right now, I'm like really putting myself out there. I am getting a lot of new followers and people being like, yes, share. What is it? Like, tell us. And then I end up getting in my head being like, oh, everything I have to share, like this sounds so silly when I say it out loud, but everything that I have to share, I feel like I like stole it from someone because it's everything I've learned by like doing coaching programs, by every book that I've read, every person that I've followed, like following you, coaching in this group. And I start to like get in my own head and I'm like, wait, I can't share those things. Those are not my ideas. Those are someone else's ideas. Like I have nothing to share. I have nothing original of my own. And I like start talking myself out of anything.
Okay. This is good because I think a lot of you need to hear this. Why do you think that that's a problem? Why are you making that a problem in your head?
Because it makes me feel like a fraud. And then I get like embarrassed. I'm like, what if the person I heard those things from, and of course I'm like saying it in my own way, but I'm like, what if that person sees it and they're like, you stole that from me? Like that I've been preaching that. And I'm like, it's like, I know the answer to this and I'm having such a hard time like breaking through and being like, everything comes from somewhere, something, somewhere. Like your ideas came from someone and something, and then you took them and you turned them into your own unique thing. I just am like, I just feel so close to the brink, and I am like, I feel so frustrated with myself because I can't like fully break through. I'm like so close to like birthing this. And I feel like I'm like at the end of my pregnancy where it's like my baby's ready to come. I could feel it, but then the baby doesn't come and I'm like, what the fuck? Get out of here.
Yeah, especially in that last trimester when you feel like a beach
Yeah.
ball. Yeah, okay. This is so good. This is good. I want you to recognize that this is like the final step for you to break through and realize, like, I almost see this as like your brain trying to find something to make a problem when there really is no problem and distracting you from the actual work. Like your brain is like, hey, let's focus on like how someone can call me out for this, or I shouldn't share this because of XYZ reason. And so I'm just not going to post this, or I'm just not going to do this. I'm not going to say this. Right. Yeah. Rhonda said in the chat, and I just listened to this podcast, Simone, my coach, Simone Soul, did a podcast on this about how original ideas are so overrated. We all in the beginning of our business want to have all these original ideas, but in the first few years of your business, a lot of your concepts are things that you're learning from your coaches around you, right? And of course, it's okay to create original content. It's beautiful to create original things that you truly have birthed from yourself. And I teach this, I've done this so much of my business, but also a lot of what I've done as a coach and what I've been able to carry on is amazing coaching that I've received and integrated. And I want you all to take what I am teaching and coaching you on and be able to transmute that and integrate that with your clients, right? The only reason that someone would come out and say, you're copying me, like the only reason that like I would never say that, unless it's like a situation, like I actually did have a situation where someone copied one of my Instagram posts word for word and claimed it as theirs. And it was just like my thoughts. And that's like a different story, right? But the only reason like I would never say something like that in like a coaching context where you're like making something your own, you're saying it in your own words, is because I'm not letting my ego take over, right? I'm not saying, oh my gosh, that was mine and I need the credit for it, right? Like I'm not living in that because I truly believe in the message being shared, the message that needs to be shared with the world, and it being bigger than me. Right? So if you are listening to all of you are listening to my coaching and you end up coaching your clients better because of my coaching and because of the tools that I use and the way that I express something, guess what? You're transmuting, and every single one of you are going to understand it differently because we're all different people. And then you're going to share it in a way that makes sense to you. And your clients are not going to want to hear it from me. They're going to want to hear it from you. They are going to want to hear it from you in the way that you are expressing and then transmuting this perspective, this concept, right? It's like when our mom says something to us 10 million times and we're like, yeah. But someone else says it that one time, you're like, oh, I should go and do that, right? It's just the way that our brains work sometimes. And you are so allowed to create your original content, but also don't put weight on that, especially in the beginning. It's totally okay to take on things that you have learned from your coaches, mentors, and people that you look up to, and allow that to be teachings, right? The last thing I'll say, and something that Simone shared in her podcast, was like, even Picasso, right? Like Picasso took on like ideas and learned to paint from the people that, you know, he looked up to in the very beginning, and then ended up creating like a whole new way of like, you know, revolutionizing art. Our babies, when they're first learning to walk and talk, they're mimicking everyone around them. There is no originality of learning how to walk and talk and breathe and do all these things. They're mimicking everything around them and going, oh, I can do it like that. I can do it like that. Every incredible basketball player, every incredible musician was mimicking first. And then in the future, if they want to, then creating something more original. But there is no hierarchy of more superior or less superior.
That makes sense. And
Yeah.
I do totally know that. And I have to get out of, you're right. It's me just coming up with excuses because I'm scared and I'm like freaked the fuck out. And I'm like, even as far back as I can remember, like being a kid, like doing something scary, I almost had to like have someone like push me, like getting into a pool at a swimming pool. I literally would stand on the edge of the swimming pool for ever, and someone would, like, my dad would have to pick me up and throw me in. Like, it's just like the way
Yeah.
that I feel like I have always been, and I'm trying so hard to get out of that and not make excuses for not doing it when I'm so ready. Like, it's all I can think about all the time. I'm so ready. I just have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you feel like is the ultimate underlying fear underneath all of this that you're most afraid of right now?
That I don't actually know what I'm trying to coach on. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I just keep having this like feeling of being like a fraud, that I'm going to start, like, I'm going to get my first beta client and that I'm going to let them down. And they're going to be like, yeah, you actually don't know what you're talking about. That, like, you did nothing to help me. What a waste of my time.
What if, because that is not actually what's happening right now, it is just a worry. And I see worry as misplaced, like imagination. So what if you allowed that energy, instead of it being like worst case scenario of your beta client, which like likely is not going to happen, what if you allowed yourself to uh, fantasize, envision, visualize the best case scenario of your best beta clients recognizing the power and the magic of your coaching, right? What if you allowed yourself to think intentional thoughts about yourself as an incredible coach, and you let that run the show? Because in reality, like, none of this has happened yet and you're creating it, right? So the more, like, your thoughts are going to leak all over and create your reality. So if your thoughts are constantly going to be, my client is going to be upset, I don't know what I'm doing, right? I think that you can take the validity of that as in, like, this is new to you, right? And this is something brand new that you're starting, but also it's kind of not, because you have experience in this and you're just doing it in a different way. And guess what? You've been doing hair for so many years and you've created such incredible client relationships and results and people that follow you for that reason. So you can, if you can find the reasons that it's going to go to shit, you can also create the reasons as to why this can be the most beautiful thing and create the most beautiful results. I want you to tell me, so if we're holding space for that, scenario of a client telling you, those things that you had said, and that you didn't know what you were doing, what is the intentional thought that you are going to replace that with when you are starting to go down that worry rabbit hole? What would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself that I do know what I'm doing, that I've proved that I know what I'm doing because I do it. Like, I literally do it every day. I have been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so, maybe if in fact it's not working for them, it's not me. It's maybe just like we're not aligned, or, like, what I'm offering is not for them. Like, I can't be for everyone, and that's okay too. But And that like I just so feel this is like in my calling, like my being. It's just I've been working forever towards this. It feels like I've studied like well over 10,000 hours, I feel like, for this.
Yeah, you're more than ready. You're more than ready. And it's your brain that wants to keep you in that safe, familiar place so that you don't go and do something new and different, right? But you have created this, you have been working towards this, and this is what you're destined to do. And oftentimes, this has been true for me, anytime that I feel chaos or confusion, that happens before the clarity. Like Alyssa just said, like if I feel like my inner critic is coming in to talk hella shit, I'm about to elevate massively. 100%. Like I always feel the most confusion before I feel the clarity. But it's something you do have to continue pushing through and realizing, okay, this is what my brain is telling me, but I'm not going to let my brain drive the boat for the rest of my life, because I'm going to choose to think intentionally. I'm going to choose to declare and believe, even if it feels delusional, that this is going to be successful, right? Because I've already seen so many of this, so many glimpses of how this is going to be the direction that I take my life into, my business into, my impact into, and truly allowing yourself to trust. Like that's the biggest thing that I'm hearing is like building that radical self-trust with yourself, not making it mean something about you if maybe a client doesn't get the result that they wanted, right? This is also a lesson to remind all of us that our clients are responsible for their results, right? Someone can buy a course and then not go through the course and then blame the coach and go, why am I not where I'm at, right? But it's up to the client to do the work, to show up and to make it happen, to take massive action, right? And to do the things that are going to get us closer to where we want to be. And that is a two-way street. And so you are doing everything that you can. And I feel like this is this last hurdle of chaos, of confusion, of, really allowing yourself to like, it's like that visual, like you're pushing yourself into the pool this time. You're going, yeah, I'm ready. I can do this. And I'm going to build self-trust with myself. Like, even if it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to, or there was a situation that, wasn't the way that I had hoped, you trust yourself enough to have your own back and still believe that you're an incredible coach and an incredible human being, and that you can navigate through this, that you can do this, that it might be hard, but you can do hard things.
I know I can. Yeah. It's like thinking, like hearing you say this right now, I'm like, I've literally been through this. Like I had to build my clientele from nothing. I was not good at cutting hair. I was not good at coloring hair. I had so many disappointed clients that were like, it's just not it. Like, this is not it. And like, I survived it. And
yeah. Exactly.
So.
And we've all been there. Like nobody starts as a professional. Like even the people we look up to the most in our industries, they've also had people walk out on them, right? Like I know a lot of you look up to me. Like I've also had clients ask for refunds. I have also had people, show up and it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Like my coach Simone, who I look up to so much, had a client slam the door in her face once and walk out of the room. There's so much, like we are human beings, and it's also part of running a business. You're going to have people asking for refunds. You're going to have people that are maybe not 100% happy, but at the same time, if you're focusing all your energy on that, it's going to continue creating more of that. The reason that I very, very rarely actually deal with those things is because I am so focused on thinking that my clients are so committed and so resourceful and so able to get shit done and to invest in themselves and to take responsibility for their actions, that's what continues manifesting. If I kept telling myself like I need to make everyone happy and I need to people please with my clients and I need to do everything that I can in order to make them happy, I would continue manifesting more and more clients where I need to hold their hand all the time, right? So I think this is kind of this final hurdle from the universe to really look at, what are you thinking? What are you choosing to believe about your clients? What are you choosing to believe about your business? And when those thoughts come up that are fearful and is normal, how can you allow yourself to be open to choosing different thoughts, more intentional thoughts that are going to serve your highest self, and just continue taking baby steps towards it?
Thank you, Tiff.
Yeah, you're so ready for this. I'm so excited for you. You're doing an amazing job. You're all
Thank
doing
you.
an amazing job.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Okay, you all, we're at time. Thank you all for showing up today. I love that so many of you come, even if you don't have something specific that you want to get coached on, that I know a lot of you come in and set the intention of, I'm going to walk away with exactly what I need. And I know so many of you do. So I'm really proud of you all for doing that and applying others' coaching to yourself, because that's really what these group calls are for. Okay, I love you all. Have an incredible rest of your week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Mwah. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.